Welcome to California Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. We are in Sacramento, California, the state's capital, and we are joined by Chris Holden. He is now the Assistant Majority Floor Leader as a result of the installation of the new speaker. Her name is Toni Atkins from San Diego, California. And I read a tweet yesterday from the Republican leader, Connie Conway,
yes,
and she mentioned that this is the first time that both the Democratic leader
yes,
and the Republican leader in the Assembly are women.
It's amazing. It's historic. It's amazing that it's taken this long.
Right.
But we're certainly proud of Toni, and we're also proud of Connie. They both are proven effective leaders, and we're looking forward to the two of them coming together and continuing to bring great leadership to the position.
Do you think having women at the top of the Assembly changes the tone or tenor? Forgive me, but I must ask.
Well, I think that they certainly bring their own unique perspectives of the world, and I think that it's going to be exciting. I mean, just watching each of them in the roles that they were in previously,
right.
They very caring, very sensitive, very aware, smart, collaborative, and I think that's important.
And I will say this as an observer, a neutral observer, I find that both Connie Conway and Toni Atkins are well liked by members of the other party.
Right.
Which is nice.
It is very nice. Well, you know, our new speaker has cut her teeth in
right.
San Diego politics,
right.
and so
a bipartisan environment, not a majority Democratic city, for example. I mean, she has to deal with people on the other side of the aisle for sure.
Indeed. So on occasion, she's moderated her positions on
right.
things to bring consensus, and I think that we've seen certainly with Connie, you know, really a strong sense of camaraderie.
Right. That's a good way to say it. Yeah, that's a very, she is kind of the person that wants everyone to kind of be friends and let's go out and have drinks or whatever.
But it's okay to have
right.
you know, your own positions on issues, but that should not, it's not a burn down the house
right.
kind of approach.
Let's talk about your new position. You were the majority whip.
Yes.
You are now the Assistant Majority Floor Leader. That is a promotion.
Yes.
It's hard to tell with the titles. What does that mean, sir?
Well, it means I get to work even closer with the new majority leader to help organize and run the floor, to help move and make our business on the floor efficient, that bills are moving effectively, that members are prepared, that we are keeping an eye on motions and how those motions would impact on our efficiency for the day. And so I'm looking forward to learning a new chapter in the organization of this House.
What's also interesting is, even though the voters passed a new term limit regime, I'll call it the current class that was elected maybe 3 terms ago, they're terming out right now.
Right.
They don't get 12 years like your class would. And
right.
so the current majority leader, I believe, will be terming out at the end of this year. I think his name is Manny Perez. He's also running for supervisor.
Yes.
So there could be another shakeup just as a result of term limits in leadership.
It is very possible. I know that the current speaker has a lot on her plate. She has to work through the budget, she has to work through election cycle in June, and I know that she wants to be very thoughtful about how she looks to going forward, and she'll work very effectively and collaboratively with all the members to make sure we're all in the right spot.
But what a different time this is for Speaker Atkins as opposed to when Speaker Perez took the position in 2010,
yes.
when we were facing a $26 billion deficit.
Yes.
We are now in surplus by about $2 billion. Is that what we think?
Yeah, well, you know, I think the governor did a great job in terms of being more conservative in his analysis on revenue. We've come in somewhere close to $2 billion above his number.
When we come back, I want to speak with you about some education bills that you have proposed. We are speaking with Chris Holden. He is a member of the California State Assembly. For our viewers on HLN, thanks for joining us. For our other viewers, we'll be right back. So, sir, I want to speak with you about truancy. A few months back, maybe a few weeks back, Attorney General Kamala Harris held a press conference which really received a ton of ink. I mean, I'm sure she holds a lot of press conferences, but this one got a lot of people paid attention.
Right.
What her focus, interestingly, was not necessarily truancy in high school, which we'd expect.
Right.
For better or for worse.
Right.
But truancy in the lower grades in elementary school.
Yes.
The numbers are shocking.
Yes. It's it is a mind-blowing understanding that so many of our young people are falling through the cracks, and I think that what she's trying to do is sort of build on her theme that she's always had, and that's to be smart on crime. Try to look at proactively how we can be better positioned to bring resources and services where needed. And so if we have young people who, or for whatever their reasons, are missing school or being truant, she wants to make sure that we at least have the data to better understand what's going on that's creating that problem.
And is that what your bill will do, 1672?
It will. It will start to establish school attendance resource boards, and in some communities they already exist, like in Pasadena, the community I represent. And I think what it does is it creates the collaboration that everybody is looking for. So parents are part of the solution. They serve on the board, teachers, administrators, even law enforcement. And the idea is to really gain information on what is really going on that's causing young people to miss so much of school. Is it that they're foster care children and they're caught up in the system that's impacting in some way?
Let's talk about that, because I'm sure you know, I think it was back in 2005, the state passed a law which allows parents to be held criminally responsible for truant children. I believe it's a misdemeanor, but that's a change.
It is a change.
At the same time, you know, one could argue that we may need to be more sensitive to the challenges certain parents face. You know, there may be transportation challenges, childcare challenges. So how do we get to a place where we don't come down hard on parents when there may be sloppy, lazy parents, but when there really are issues in the family?
Well, and that's what the SARB board is designed to do. They're start to really gather information, better understand what's going on in the young person's life. There may be the need for intervention where there's peer counseling, or maybe there's a need for psychiatric support. And then maybe it's as simple as understanding that they're just having trouble getting to school because of transportation, work issues, and other types of things. So I think that more data that we are able to amass through the SARBs, it will allow for the state and other agencies to better understand how to deploy resources for better intervention to support those needs.
Because as I understand, I think it was maybe the LA Times, I don't recall specifically, but there was an investigation done on those parents that were being prosecuted under the truancy law, and it tended to be parents of color, lower socioeconomic status, and so it begs the question.
Yeah, no, and I think, and as I say, you know, the Attorney General is trying to find a way to make sure, one, that the kids end up in the classroom, not the courtroom.
Well stated.
And also to make sure that the parents certainly have whatever additional support they may need to be able to address the needs of their young people, because that's the key is to get them educated.
We've spoken before about another bill that you have. It's Concurrent Enrollment 1451.
Yes.
And it focuses upon students in high school. Could either be at the high end of the achievement scale or even the lower end of the achievement scale. There are different reasons to go to junior college if you're a junior or senior in high school. Talk to us about concurrent enrollment.
Well, concurrent enrollment is it's been in place for about 30 or 40 years, and so it's not a new policy, but it is an opportunity to sort of create better conformancy throughout the state. So our bill would basically establish a partners agreement between the community college boards and the high school board, or the boards for
Board of Ed.
Board of Ed, and basically lay out the responsibilities, the courses that would be offered, and how those courses would be compensated or paid for. No cost to the young person. They have, as you pointed out, the higher achiever could continue to operate and take high school and college courses, but it also creates an opportunity for those who are in need of remedial education and support to be able to take college courses, to be able to understand what they need to do in order to be able to hit the ground running once they get to college, so they're not taking remedial ed once they're in college.
Do we have the resources to create this program? I know we're in surplus now, but it does sound like a quote new program. Are we ready?
We're ready. I mean, these are classes that would be covered under the existing revenue flow that community colleges are able to identify, and also through attendance measures that the school districts follow.
Okay, his name is Chris Holden. He is a member of the California State Assembly. He is now the Assistant Majority Floor Leader. My name is Brad Pomerance. This is California Edition.